It's no driver. Look. 每天人多吗？多。特别多。It's a pretty freaking beautiful building. And then there's another one. There's another one over here, which I think looks even more impressive. 啊，那个阿萨姆在哪里啊？过着了吧？
过着了。
这个吗？
对。法国的。
新西兰的。
新西兰的。
哎，那个古德寺你去过没？
没有。
没有。我今天要去那里看一下。
那里人山人海。
是吗？
看抖音。
今天吗？
里面昨天是人山人海。
因为放假了就假期哦。
很多人，人说全世界的人都来武汉了。
去年我也在武汉那个清明的时候，我想去黄鹤楼，进不去，没票了。
今天可以去看一下。
看一下。好，谢谢啊。Good morning, folks. From a spring morning here in Wuhan, I've not been filled with optimism by our local shopkeeper. I'm planning to go to a temple today called Buddha Temple. It's a Buddhist temple, some beautiful architecture. But our man at the shop tells me he was on the Chinese TikTok, Douyin, and said basically that place, he used the phrase, people mountain, people sea. As in, there's as many people as you can see, like a mountain or a sea. So it's just a sea of people, a mountain of people. It may be rather busy, but I want to go have a look. So let's jump on the train and head to the temple. Also, that taxi has no driver. I am very keen to try one. It's no driver. Look. I wonder if it's going to pull over. It is going to pull over. I can't take this taxi to where I'm going because they're only kind of in a testing phase at the moment. There's only certain areas of the city where they're allowed to operate, but this is one of them. Look. And nobody in the car. Can you guys see? Nobody. How cool is that? But yeah, the place we're going is outside the range of these driverless taxis, so sadly I can't just jump in one. Apparently your first ride is free as long as you've got a Chinese phone number and a Chinese ID card. So I'm not sure I'll be able to get a free ride, but first ride is free. I think they're trying to encourage people to get used to the idea of taking a driverless service. So yeah, nothing encourages people quite like that first free trip. Something tells me I'm not going to need the map to find this place, because I would swear half the people who got off the subway at the stop I got off at are all going the same way. Apparently this temple has become something of a hotspot on the internet, so everyone wants to go there and take some pictures. 这个古德寺是不是往那边走啊？
对，出我这个门往右走，还有300米的道。
人多吧？
啊？
每天人多吗？多。
特别多。
你去过没？
我没事我就去。
好玩吗？
还可以啊。
有门票吗？
之前不要，说现在要，我不知道收没收。
哦，好，我去看一下，谢谢。 Well, judging by the thousands of people around me, yeah, we're in the right place. It doesn't look like there's tickets being taken though. Well, I can definitely see why so many people come here to take photos. It's a pretty freaking beautiful building. And then there's another one. There's another one over here, which I think looks even more impressive. That one kind of doesn't feel that Chinese. It feels more like, I don't know, I'm not a Buddhism expert, but like Southeast Asian. Yeah, looks different from any Buddhist temple I've ever seen before. Look at that. Still room for a little bit of politics at the Buddhist temple. Well, I would say the number of people taking photos outnumbers the people who are praying pretty substantially. But I can kind of see why. It's hard to begrudge people wanting to come and take photos with such a beautiful building. Right. But yeah, it must make it hard if you're like a regular worshipper here, just to try and beat these crowds every time you just want to come and pay your respect. But yeah, I'm sure the temple enjoys all the engagement they get, and they are selling little kind of ribbons which people can purchase, make a wish, you know, wish for some good fortune or wish for their health or whatever other reasons people come to make wishes for. And so people write their names on them, and then there's particular wishes. So things like driving the car and being safe on the road, wishing for a kind of successful working life, like successful career, wishing for good health, all the kind of normal stuff which you would expect. The main area where all the monks are, that's a no photography area, so I'm not going to take the camera in there, but we'll keep having a wander. I noticed there's a big queue going into that room. I was wondering what it was for, and then I overheard somebody say that's for the kind of like the Buddha who looks after finances. So if you want to pray to kind of get rich, that's the one with the queue. But yeah, the temple itself dates back to late 1800s. It's actually got a connection to the uprising which we visited the other day, the uprising gate, because apparently the monks of this temple helped treat some of the wounded soldiers from that uprising back in the early 1900s. And then after the revolution, after the fall of the Qing dynasty, the vice president at the time, who would later be president, we visited his tomb the other day, Yuan Hong. He came here and was the one that inscribed the name of the temple. So it's kind of all connected. Old temple, old president, uprising, monks, and everything. Sadly for the temple itself, it also suffered during the Cultural Revolution. Apparently a lot of the relics and the Buddhas and whatnot were destroyed. That's just, that almost goes without saying when talking about Cultural Revolution China. I just almost took a guy out with my camera. At one point they had the monks doing, I don't know, like basically general labor tasks. Everyone had to contribute to society, not just devote yourself to religious activities. But nowadays it's kind of back to just being a temple.这是吉祥的吗？
您拿有吉祥的这。
这怎么卖？
潜水2块，茶鱼
你说什么价格？
我肯定不知道价格。
你要一个8块钱，要8不离8嘛。
老板这个多少钱？
生肖挂件，
那这10块钱一个。
10块啊？10块。
10块，很便宜的。
水2块，茶鱼
这是什么？10块。
Well, folks, that was the temple. Not exactly the most kind of peaceful, tranquil place you'll ever go, at least not on a public holiday. But nowhere in China on a public holiday is really peaceful and tranquil. So, yes, lots of people, lots of crap being sold around the temple. Pretty sure by April you're supposed to have your Christmas trees down, but anyway.